First, you need to have installed on your computer, on your operating system, whether it's Linux or Windows, you need to have VirtualBox. I'll leave a card up there for you to show how I did, how to install it. So, you already assuming that you already have it installed on your computer. The process is very simple. I'll provide an ISO. I prepared an ISO for you. So I'm going to run it here. I'm already here with Windows 10. It is important that you follow step by steps. Follow the step by step, because of course you will be able to go back if you want. So I'm already here with VirtualBox open.
Hey, people
I
of
will
the
go
internet.
here in the file. In this case here, I am using it for the first time, meaning I erased all the content. So I have it here. I will already make it available here on my desktop. I will copy to my desktop the file, this ISO, you will have it ready. They're all edited. The name of the file will be doastanet. You said, note that sometimes people ask, oh, is there a virus? Of course, I don't put viruses in the files, that's not my intention. However, there are old files where the antivirus detects something that it might recognize as a virus. So it's up to you if you want to. If you continue, you continue. If not, that's okay. Why? Because I know how to solve the problems. I believe many of you know how to fix them. Format, uninstall, run antivirus, but many also do not. So when you have doubts, don't push it. Therefore, I use Google. Here on my computer without a problem, and these are problems I've had here for 20 years, 25 years that I've kept. So it could be that there are old viruses that were not recognized by the antivirus programs of the time, and now they are being detected. But in many cases, the error, the message is false. You see, the detection is false. So I have here in my work line already on a machine that I will be making available to you. For you to download from now on, it's extremely important for you to pay attention. I will try to be as simple so you don't have difficulty. So I come here to new name. I'm going to put here Doris. Notice how interesting, look how interesting artificial intelligence is. I will go back here again. Look, new. Notice that it is written Windows 11 64 bits down here. Why? It already detected my version. Then the name here, I want DOS. Look there, version 2. It already changed by itself down there, so you would only need to change the operating system. It changed it for you. So DOS 6.22. I don't know if it will change anything else. I believe not. Done. Down here you could choose, see? It already chose there is no DOS here. I put another one, and down here it already put DOS. There are several operating systems here. So it already did it by itself. You just have to type the name. So for amateurs, for those of you who have no experience with the system, it's very simple. It already helps you in almost 100%. So here, ISO image. Then I didn't select, I come here. Note that as I'm telling you, sometimes the interface is a bit different. In Linux, the interface is not like this, but it is very intuitive. It's in Portuguese, you just need to read. So here it's already asking for the name of the virtual machine. ISO image, then I go here, other, and I will select on my desktop, which is my case here, the Astaгаnet image. So far, easy, no problem. Follow through. They already asked you here what you want. You can change the virtual machine's hardware and set the amount of RAM. The minimum it sets is 32 megabytes, because MS-DOS only recognizes up to 64. So no need to change it, leave 32. Processors, 1. Why 1? I'm considering here that you're using an old machine. Yes. So an old machine from the 1990s, late 90s, early 2000s had only one core, one processor, so one CPU. Okay, moving on. Then he asks about the disk size. Note that he already suggested 500 megabytes. Why? Because FAT32, FAT16, it had a limitation of 504 megabytes, if I'm not mistaken. And then they created an extension, right? Made an improvement and applied the LBA, which was an abbreviation for Loud Brock Axis. Something like that. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's exactly the translation. I don't remember. So he could expand up to 2.1. Giga. 2100 megabytes on FAT16 with LBA activated. So it's suggesting 500 megabytes. I will accept. So detail, I'm making a basic computer from the late 1990s with the limitations of that time. 32 MB of RAM, which was a lot in the late 1990s. My brand new Pentium 133 computer, which I bought, had only 16 MB. So 500 megabytes of RAM. Or rather, 500 megabytes of storage. I could use an existing disk if I already had an image created. In this case here, no. I won't use a virtual disk because I will create it now. It's different from the image, okay? Here, it's not the ISO you're downloading, it's an image you've already created. Maybe you used it on another computer, created a virtual machine there. Then you can copy it to another computer. Next, I can show this in another situation. So here it showed the settings. Machine name, DOS 5.22. He's installing the ISO image that I'm going to use right here. Operating system DOS. Skip the installation and the disk. I'm not going to skip. I will do the entire assisted installation. Memory slot 32. Processor 1 and the name FI because at the time it didn't exist. Disk size, 500 megabytes. Pre-allocate total size. I didn't fix it. I left it there in case it needs to expand and finish. Done. Your virtual image is already created. Your virtual disk is already created. Hold on, it's not over. Look how nice. It already placed here in the corner. Oh, 2, 6, 22. Now, this was the first step. The first part for you to make your virtual machine. Man, it's awesome. I'm thrilled because I love doing this. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you've already given your well-deserved like. I hope. Man, that... I freaked out, right? But I hope you already leave a like. Because man, I've had this on my mind for months. And I didn't put it into practice. And I decided here in an hour when I had time, I did it. And it worked, man. It worked. Sensational. Now that your virtual disk, or rather, now that your machine is created, you will now boot your machine. You have here, considering a computer of the time, I don't know what the processor is, the frequency put here. In fact, look how interesting. It already appears for you here. Bang, 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 bang. The screen is giving me a 9 megabyte video card. How cool. At the time, video cards were 512 kilobytes, 1 megabyte, 2.4. I even had one of 4 megabytes, then one of 8. Around the year 2000, I already had one of 8 megabytes. So, video card 9 megabytes. Then I scroll down. Look here, the sound controller. Sound Blaster 16. Dude, sensational. It will already give me sound from back then. Sound from May 16. Wow, man, really good. It's giving me a network that I'm not going to use because in MS-DOS I didn't get to use it. I'm being honest. I didn't get to use the network in the MS-DOS fashion, especially in Windows. One of these days I'll do some experiments. It doesn't have USB, it's disabled. Back then it didn't exist. Share pass. I'm not sharing. Okay, I'm going to start the machine. Cha-cha-cha-cha. Now you're going to see your machine starting up. It should have already shown the image on the screen here, but I don't know why it ended up this small. It's booting the VM and it's saying 0%. See? The process I do within Linux is different from here. It opened, it executed, I minimized the screen here, and it appeared behind. Look how cool. I will try to enlarge this screen, because it has already changed. Let me see if there's a place here to expand this interface. Oh dear. I will turn it off again. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to see if I can improve this interface. So I come here, video memory, let me see this here, settings. It must be at 640 by 80. I'm using a full HD monitor here, so I would either have to reduce my screen, or I would have to increase it a little. So, I go here to display, I go to full HD.
In Portuguese?
So using here, let me see if there is no scaling factor, all the monitors, 100, 200. Could this here be the zoom? I don't know if it would be the zoom. It will have a small screen, I'll have to record it small, so when it enlarges, maybe it will be pixelated. So let me choose 200, just to see if it will be like that. Then start the machine again, it comes here and makes a little face here. A little square in the corner, which is different from Linux. But it doesn't matter. I think I don't even need to keep repeating this, because I think they've already understood what it was, in case there's something different. Ah yes, there we go. I increased the window. So I increased it by 200%, look how cool. Note that I haven't even enlarged it yet. In editing, I'll enlarge it so it will be a bigger window. I'll go here in the corner, I'll remove this thing here, which is just appearance done. This here is the computer already. Look how interesting. It's an old one, by the way. The original ISO. It created a device and named it Banana. I could put Teganet there. Tegeros of the internet, but I left Banana. Then what did it do? It already enabled the CD-ROM in student mode. It already set the secondary drive, which would be in this case the CD-ROM, you know, on the interface at port 170 on IRQ15. So for those who don't know, back in the MS-DOS era, you only had 15 IRQs. So 15 addresses, you have 15 things to operate. Above 15 there was no way it would conflict. So there is a list. 0 is the clock. 1, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that 3 or 4 is the mouse. 5 is sound. 6 I don't remember. 7 is the printer. 9, 10 are usually a PCI card. So there's a little list with the IRQs. So the secondary ID was set to 15. And here, look how interesting. The letter A here, the ISO. The ISO recognizes it as a floppy disk. So if I do a dig here, look, I can see the partition here.
Oh, see? Can you see?
This here is ISO. The network recognized it as if I had the boot diskette. I think it's 1200 megabytes in mute with the files from MS-DOS. So I muted with the floppy disk that's inside the ISO. The ISO, when it boots this way. The letter A is the floppy disk, dir, then you have the MS-DOS files. Then, if you access C:, which would be the disk, look how interesting. C, invalid. That's why I said pay close attention. Invalid, why? I have to format the hard drive. The 500 megabyte hard disk was created and is not formatted. So I will have to use, notice here, dir p, look at the MS-DOS commands. Do you remember? You will use them. Do you see the commands? I have here the basic commands. The C is the attrib check disk, del3 delete the M in the middle of memory management. Fdisk to create the disk partition and a series of others there. Now I already know that C will be the blank disk. And the letter R is the CD-ROM. So letter R is all the content that's in the ISO. Look how interesting. Man, amazing, amazing. This here is the content from EC22, which is the name of the disk. This here is all the content I prepared within the ISO. So you have the installer of the CD-ROM, the CD Pro. Why the installer? Because after I remove the boot from the ISO and start using C:, I need to have the CD-ROM installed to access the ISO. And even to access an external CD-ROM. You can only have the ISO and then add the games as if you were copying them into the normal hard drive. So when you type /p, it will stop. Then you have the DOS folder with all the installed files. Then you have the games folder. If you go inside, you find there are a variety of things, mouses, then the installers. I am already making available to you here inside the games, a folder with utilities which can be useful, that's why they aren't useful. The folder with Windows 3.11 installer. Windows 95 CD, which is also an installer, and Windows, which is the installed folder. Wow, man, wow. Then you'll type here disk/p. You'll see that I created, or rather I did it wrong, disk/p, C:/all.bat, bat, which are the batch files. There's the autodet which is the standard executable of MS-DOS there. Some commands that it adds there. The C, it's a command there to create a disk. So inside this ISO you can create a floppy disk. From here you can create a bootable floppy disk. He already set this up in here. So I don't know if it was already created. I didn't even test it because I have another way to create the floppy disk. The copy atd is what will perform the installation I prepared for you. But it will only work after you run fdisk. What I am doing now, you are going to create a partition. Because there is no partition. You create primary partition. It's in English because the boot, that I got is in English. It's an old one. And it's asking if I want to create the capacity of the disk. Yes. Done. Created. We told him to insert the floppy disk. Look, it's already there. It's restarting. It's restarting as if it had the floppy disk. And again, reading. There it is. Then he says the following. The CD-ROM will install again. The CD-ROM will be on letter R, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's letter R. Drive R. So R. I had already done this boot before. This reading. So what does it say? C: says invalid. Why invalid? Because in MS-DOS, when you create the partition, now, if you format this partition, so I will abort here or fail, it will abort, a colon. So what are you going to do? Format it. Now look, for for you to be able to boot from C colon, you will have to do this process. Format/s. Why/s? Otherwise, you will have to give a sys.com later. So, if I'm speeding you up to do everything at once, you will format C colon, or rather, format/s of C colon. You will format and then install the operating system within C, which is the IO system, installation system, command com. You press enter, and it will format very quickly because it is a virtual image. And then I will write here, you can say whatever you want with up to 11 characters. So I will put here, hard drive, games 2, let me see, 2710, done. Then it showed there, look the size, 523 million, right? In this case, it would be 523 megabytes. And I used 212 kilobytes for the system file. And it showed the remaining available, which is 523 there's little left. Now, if I take in C colon dir, and there is the operating system, I'm not going to boot from C yet. I'm going to do that little command now. Watch. This is the trick. So, please, the trick, dir/p, all underscores, execute copy everything, not C no. Copy everything, it's this, copy everything. Look at the magic happening. Sensational. Then, read. You will have, look, execute the commands directly from the CD-ROM. That's what's being done. And always choose the directory option. Then there will be a D, but it's lowercase. I'll see if I can change it in the ISO. More D. D is down here, D, directory, right? D. Every time it asks, it will only ask once. Because the slash in the Xcopy, it's an Xcopy 32/S, it stops asking. It asked again. D again, always D. It's because there are different folders. Look, D again, B. If you choose F, it will create just one little file, it won't work. You'll have to repeat the entire process. In fact, then you have to delete your virtual image and start from scratch. Because I haven't created any correction strategy. Just installation, okay? If you did the command correctly, type through all the files, you will type C colon D, and there it is, everything installed, but the autoexec and the config.sys were missing, so go back to the R, then do the following. Now look how interesting, dear P. Let me see if I created a separate folder here. I didn't create it. So you will type here, look, copy, alt exec.bat. Why am I doing this? Because if you use this ISO to install Windows 95, it's a different procedure. That's for the next video, which you will definitely like too. So to drive C colon, I copied, copy, config x to C colon /. All right? Okay. Now, you simply close your machine, turn it off, it's ready, our process is ready. You go to settings. And in the system here, you have a boot. So, when you are going to boot from the hard drive, you disable the floppy disk here, which I will do in a simpler way. Disable. Okay, ready? That's it. Now you start your machine. Then you'll see it again. Sensational. Now with your machine ready for you to play, certainly share this with your friends, with enthusiasts out there, nostalgics. So the folks from the Facebook group, give some support. This video turned out great. I don't know, maybe someone has done it before, but I'm really happy I made it. There it is. Look at the boot. It's booting up. Note the following. It's already installed. Now I'm booting from the C, drive installed. It's no longer the ISO. Now I'm on my virtual machine. It already installed the mouse, which I had left in the mount exec there, as you saw. Maybe it won't work, because it's saying there that it's PS2. In this case here, I don't know what the machine will detect. And the CD-ROM is installed. Note that now the CD-ROM is letter D. So D, look at the ISO there. So note the following. MS-DOS with the CD-ROM installed. And I am detecting the ISO CD-ROM in this case. I go back to the CD-ROM, the letter changed. Now I'm no longer on the ISO.
And now let's test. First, MS-DOS commands, diskpart disk. So we've got MS-DOS running. Look, of course, there's nothing to fix because a virtual machine, defrag, so the most used commands. Let me see if the mouse will work. Oh, inside the mouse doesn't work. There's a mouse inside. Let me see. Control, Alt, Pad, Delete. Not here. It won't work. You see? The mouse inside is not going to work. Okay, look. The mouse doesn't work. So you have to press enter. See, there's nothing to defragment. So then I got out of the thing here. Let me go back there. You have to press contact del again to go back. Contact del. No. Wait. No, wait. Remove the mouse here. I got confused here. Okay, I'm out. It's because the mouse confuses. It's not the mouse. I'm not using it inside. I'm not using it inside. All right? MS-DOS. Look, I'm in MS-DOS. Oh, but I want to copy or do anything. All the commands will work. Edit will work. Look, edit, look. The mouse inside, it doesn't work, right? Look, if I click, it goes back to this screen here. So, ignore the mouse. File exit. All right? Okay, right? Now games. CD games. Of course, I have the games folder. CD games. Let's see if we get sound, huh? Let's hear if we get sound. Let's start the first one with Doom. Doom 2. I will run the setup just for you to see. Setup music. The music, I recommend you leave it as none. Why? Because it won't recognize that MIDI sound system. I don't remember, not even if it has MPU. I think it has MPU. So if you set it here, it won't produce sound, but in some cases, it gives an error. So leave it as is. Sound. It's on PC speaker, so if I run it now, it will be only on PC speaker. Select the ARM option. Port address 220, IRQ5, DMA1. I'll set 8 sound channels. I'll leave 4 instead because I did some tests and the sound didn't turn out well. I'll leave 4 and run it. Let's listen to the sound now. I will close this annoying window that keeps popping up here. Look, man. You with Windows 10 and 11 and Linux running Doom. Running Doom, man. Running Doom. Look how interesting. Let's see this. Let's listen to the sound. Listen to the sound. Hear the sound. Listen to the sound. Hear the sound. Look, listen. How cool. Look. But also look cool. Just look. So this for me here. The sound is good. The sound is good. But I think I'm going to increase it a bit more here. It's a little. The sound is. It's loud. The sound is good here. Sound working. Yeah, this lag might be because I zoomed in on the screen. It could be that I zoomed in on the screen, so it's causing a little lag. I'll return the screen to the standard size. Later, when I show it to you, I'll enlarge it a bit. Look at Doom there, working. Note here, in virtual machine mode. In real computer mode, it will also work great. So, the sound, I will reduce the screen a little just to see if this lag will disappear, because I found it very laggy. Let me test here first the dual to confirm. 3D, dual 3D, test the dual 3D. Setup 2. Same situation sound, look here. This is the sound. FXD is the sound. Sound Blaster. Yeah, note that this RQ is 10. I have to change it to 5, because 10 is 10,005. And RQ5, DMA1, here also 1. See? Here I don't know if it is. I'll just leave it as 5. So, sound brush, I'll give a red 32, 8 voices, 16 bits. Sound test, 16 kilohertz. Test of the sound working. It's a bit low. I'll increase it a little on the speaker here. There you go, sound working, man. Sound working. That's awesome. And now, John, let's see if it will lag. If it lags, I'll reduce the zoom because the zoom will let me confirm. Duke Nukem 3D running on Windows 10 or Windows 11 or Linux. Man, it's sensational. Sensational. Now, depending on your screen, you won't have any trouble. The screen will stay at the standard size. Let me see if it will lag here. If it does, I will reduce it a bit because I have full HD. Yeah, it's not lagging now. Now notice that the resolution is ugly. Then you go to ESC option and the OPI. And it's on low detail. Low detail is usually for those with weak systems. Then I improved it. So, for the time then, it's already fine. There. Yeah, here it's not lagging. I think it's a thing of... I feel like it's as if with bigger pixels, but it might be the zoom. If you don't use it here, you can remove it from the screen, as I'm not using it. Wow. Damn, man. I think I deserve the like. I'll put a trick here. DNS2 for everyone, all the weapons. Poor guys, I'll feel sorry for them here because no one's gonna stand a chance, right? They're destroying everything. So the detail is that there's a trick which is for, he doesn't like to use the term God mode, right? He says invincible denka rois. This was something a friend from classes taught me back then when I was still learning, right? Memorized it to this day in 1996. And he gave me the Discord. Usually you don't have to adjust ours because the shot already goes towards the target. So there's no need to adjust ours to move up or down. The space bar, let me see, the alt and jumps that jump. Let me find the letter A. The letter A jumps because I'm using a laptop. I'm using the keys below the next one. I had thrown the metric below delete, end, page down. So the letter A jumps and the letter Z crouches. There must be other commands that I won't remember. It's kind of laggy now. Oh, it got a bit laggy here. I don't know if I pressed the button. Let me see. No, here's the map. I might have pressed the button that made it slow. I pressed Q here, spacebar, Alt. I don't remember, it got a bit slow. I'll restart it here. Why? I didn't need to use the CD. The setup I could have used what's direct. right? Let's see if it will get better now. Because it lagged as if I had pressed the key that reduced it. She became a bit laggy. I'm going to exit the interface. Why? I will turn off the machine. I just need to come here in X and turn it off. Turn off the machine. And I will reduce that zoom I gave there. In settings, display. I will go back here to 100%. 100%. Here is the controller. I usually do not touch it. Okay, let's start again. Then it will start as if turning on the machine. It will boot it from the hard drive and provide access to the virtual image. In this case, the virtual machine. In this case, the virtual machine has very little now that I can access, but it does. There are things, I will even see what is in the virtual machine there that can still be used. But I think I minimized quite a bit. I didn't leave too much to clutter, no? See? Now the virtual machine started with the image slightly smaller. In this case here, I'm in full HD, but on the monitor in 2024, 178. It will take up almost, yes, more than half. Yes, CD games. Duke 3D. Let's see if it's going to get faster now, since the resolution is without zoom. Look, I think it does. The image even looks better. Little sound working. Yes, really in this mode here. It has to be on automatic, man, to prevent that lag. That's it. Cool. But it's not over. It's not over. Hold on. Oh. Hold on. I know you're already happy, eager to play. But look, if I type win here, it will enter. Look how cool, dude. Here you get the file manager. You get and run the game from here, see? Look, here's Mario. How cool. Here's little Mario. Look at Mario there. Taram, taram, taram. There's no music here. Look at the speed, dude. Yeah, here it's really fast, huh? Look. Rocket. Look. You can play. Because the character got turbocharged. It's like he took powdered guarana, right? Huh. Man, sensational, dude. Sensational. I'm very happy. I hope he's happy too. I hope you share it with however many people you want. But the ISO will serve both for you to do this process and to create your installation disks. You can create your CD-ROM disk of MS-DOS. You can copy the Windows 3.1 installer to a floppy disk, including when you do the installation, but you still have access to the CD-ROM, both for the image and for external disk processing. Okay? I hope you liked it. Very good. I'm very happy. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share with all your friends, enemies, relatives, right?
leave a like. Stay with God and see you next time.